Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, today is our monthly meeting, and so that's why I'm actually at the meeting place right now, getting ready to unload a bunch of stuff. So if you can make it out today, please do so. Should be a really great meeting. Have a special speaker today, so it'll be a good one. It's a potluck. It's very, very family friendly, so bring the whole clan out with you, children and all. Good time to mingle with folks and to network and just to get to know other like-minded people. In the news, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot. There was an attack in Germany. Several people have died, knife attack. ISIS has claimed doing this terrorist attack. And the real reason why I'm bringing this out, I mean, obviously it's tragic that lives were lost and stuff there. But, I've been telling you that it's very possible and likely that we could start seeing certain types of attacks here in the United States. And considering that ISIS, in my opinion, is controlled by CIA, I mean, that's my opinion. It would make sense that they could potentially do some things here in the United States to get the fear going, to get people panicking and be willing to have government come in and control their lives. It would fit the narrative really well. So just something to be thinking about, and it seems like it's starting in Germany, and the question is it going to start here in the United States? I don't know, but it definitely seems plausible. Also, there's a lockdown in parts of Massachusetts. A very deadly disease is spreading by mosquitoes. And they have locked down or have issued curfews to places in Massachusetts. And it's interesting that we're seeing this happen for mosquitoes, and there's also been, over the last couple of years, all sorts of stories in the news about the Bill Gates organization releasing these genetically modified mosquitoes into the air. I mean, there may not be any kind of connection whatsoever, but it is suspicious. I don't know that that's necessarily the thing that we're going to see, the lockdowns. There's been more talk in the news about the monkeypox and about bird flu, but as shocking as this is going to be to hear, there's a lot of people out there online indicating that the lockdowns may actually come from COVID-19 this time around. Again, COVID, there's about 1 million new cases a day now in the United States. They're saying it is spreading like wildfire and everybody's getting it. And honestly, I'm still not very concerned with it, but it's not about what you or I think. It's about what the masses, the cattle, how they will react to it. And if they could spin this, that it's become worse now and it's become very contagious, would people be willing to go into lockdown? I think probably a decent amount of people, obviously not majority, I don't think, but a decent amount of people. And so that's something to be paying attention to, is that the big news that I'm sure you're all waiting to hear, and I'm sure most of you already know, is that Israel has preemptively attacked Lebanon and Hezbollah. Late yesterday evening, it hit the news that Israel was attacking Lebanon, that they had gotten word that Hezbollah in Lebanon was getting ready to attack Israel. And so they preemptively attacked. That happened throughout the night. A whole lot's going on because of this. They're saying this could last days. There's been, of course, flights shut down. Countries are saying get the citizens out of Lebanon, including the United States. A lot of activity back and forth. I guess Hezbollah hit a naval ship of Israel's, and there is word that Yemen and Iran may be jumping in real soon. In fact, Hezbollah stated this morning that the next wave of attacks would come from multiple countries. So is this the big one? Is this the one that everyone's kind of, been anticipating for the last few weeks? I can't tell you that necessarily, but it does seem that things are escalating greatly. A U.S. carrier group has moved offshore of Iran. And like I've said the other day, the largest U.S. naval fleet ever put together in the Middle East is right there right now. In fact, so much so that it's really left our Pacific front very vulnerable. There's no carrier groups over there. They've pulled so much into the Middle East, and the Navy also announced this week that they're shutting down, taking out of service 17 ships because they're not serviceable. So it gives the appearance that the United States is pretty vulnerable at this point, and things could certainly escalate. Uh, this is all planned. I have no doubt whatsoever that this is all planned. But what is the plans and how will they affect us? That's the question, right? There's been cyber attacks a lot lately. These attacks in Europe that haven't quite made their way really to the United States, but I think most of us think that it's going to eventually. So it looks like the world has really kind of shifted into this war stance. It's been going on for a while, but I'm talking about active, kinetic, happening right now between what's going on in Europe, Eastern Europe, and now in the Middle East, which, I mean, it's been going on in the Middle East for a while. But it's increased, it's shifted. And what's kind of shocking to me is that the majority of Americans seem to be asleep, or even if they're aware of what's going on, they just almost have become to the point that they don't care. And I do think that we're seeing some very significant things happen that's going to drag the United States into it, and which is going to make the United States a target. It's going to affect our supply chain. It could affect things like our grid and other services that most people need to survive, albeit they'll they'll survive if they want to, but most people just can't survive without running water and electricity in the United States anymore. And whether it be from actual foreign nations attacking, or like I said in the beginning, some type of terrorist attack, it's creating a huge vulnerability for us. And I believe that this is all part of the plan. They need a lot of chaos going into this election cycle. They do. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. There's talk still about the possibility of Trump going to jail next month, coming up soon in like a couple of weeks. They have to do something to distract from the empty vessel, basically, and that's the nicest way I can put it, that Kamala Harris is. And they want to, make sure that their ideology stays in power. Now, maybe that is through Donald Trump. I've always kept that option open. But regardless, they need to create a lot of chaos. They need to bring America to its knees for their globalist, agenda to happen. And that's exactly what they're doing. I firmly believe that times are about to get a lot harder for the United States. And that's why I get on here all the time trying to convince people and push people and to the point of it being an annoyance to get ready, because hard times are coming, folks. America has been very fortunate and blessed. I believe that America was blessed because America, for the most part, Americans were sought to be godly people, okay? I understand that that's not completely true, but in general, that's not the case anymore. America has sinned very greatly and continues to do so. Innocent blood has been shed many millions of times in this country, and now they're stealing the innocence of children. And it's quite clear in Scripture that you don't mess with the children. You don't lead them astray. You don't do bad things to them. And so I believe that America has a payday coming, and you and I need to be ready for that. When we look at all the things that's happening, whether it's, illegals, war, economy, we just keep, diseases, pandemics, all this kind of stuff, and more, many other things. A huge recipe for disaster, a perfect storm is building, and we need to be ready for that. I believe that a dark winter is coming. I know we've said that before. I know people have thought that and warned about that. But there's too many things happening right now to just ignore it and to move on. We have to be getting ourselves prepared, folks. You should be taking every chance that you can to stock up, to train up, prepping, developing your skills, developing relationships in your family and the people around you. But most importantly, you need to be developing your relationship here with the Almighty in heaven. That's the most important thing that you can do. You need to spend daily time in prayer and reading the Bible. You need to be strengthening yourself. It's no different than going and working out or just training your body to do something. You're training your soul. That's what you need to be doing. And it strengthens your mind also to what we are going to face. And make no mistake about it, folks, we are facing some really troubled times, and I think the worst is yet to come. Get your houses in order, folks. Be preparing yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually every day, because daily the attacks are coming and they're going to get worse. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.